Jagger was saying, actually, Keith Richards is the sound of the Stones. Mick Taylor wasn't really a Stone at all. But
Mick and Keith not really working together as songwriters. The song still said Jagger Richards, but they weren't really written like that.
There are clearly difficulties between him and Keith at this stage. He's pretty disillusioned and is already thinking about getting out.
Desolation, drugs.
Feeling of sort of cocaine come down.
Keith wiping some of his contributions and replacing them with his own.
He made this terrible mistake leaving the band.
It really wasn't a big deal to me, leaving the Stones.
Moonlight Mile, the haunting and atmospheric closing track of the Rolling Stones' 1971 album, Sticky Fingers, stands out as one of the band's most introspective and sonically rich compositions.
And I think Sticky Fingers is probably the greatest sort of single album long player that the Stones ever did. It's as a piece of work, you know, from Brown Sugar to Moonlight Mile, I think it's pretty flawless.
While much of the credit often goes to Mick Jagger, who wrote the lyrics and helped shape the mood of the song, guitarist Mick Taylor played a crucial and often underappreciated role in bringing Moonlight Mile to life.
Mick Taylor's influence is clear on something like Moonlight Mile.
Unlike the gritty blues rock swagger that defined much of Sticky Fingers, Moonlight Mile is delicate, reflective, and emotionally vulnerable.
You hear it on Moonlight Mile, and you know, this is Mick Taylor making a major contribution to the band.
It tells the story of isolation and the weariness of life on the road, wrapped in a dreamy, late-night soundscape.
It's part of my emotional knowledge of what the internal reality of people in the 60s was like.
The song is notable for its layered instrumentation, acoustic guitar, string arrangements, piano, and subtle lead work all come together to create a lush, cinematic feel. Keith Richards was notably absent during much of the creation of the track, and that absence opened up space for other members, most significantly Mick Taylor, to step into the spotlight.
Moonlight Mile is one of the absolute highlights. I mean, ironic that, you know, Keith Richards, you know, the heart and soul and lungs of the Rolling Stones is not on it. To this day, I don't even know how much involvement Keith had in the writing of it, and, you know, we know he wasn't there. We still know that it is a masterpiece. It's a fantastic, you know, climax to the record. It's a brilliant way for the record to go out.
Taylor's involvement began when Jagger asked him to help flesh out the arrangement. Though Taylor is not credited as a co-writer, a common frustration for him during his time with the band, his guitar work and input into the song's structure were essential to its final form.
I mean, he's disillusioned as well about not getting the songwriting credits that he should have done.
Mick Taylor's playing on Moonlight Mile is understated but deeply expressive. He plays the acoustic guitar parts that serve as the song's backbone, delicately picking patterns that lend the song a sense of movement and melancholia. His phrasing is elegant and fluid, showing his classical and jazz influences more than his blues roots.
Mick Taylor was as gifted a guitar player as had ever come out of England. I mean, he had been in the Blues Breakers. Mick could play anything. He was so soulful.
While there is no blazing solo, Taylor's guitar sings in a way that amplifies the song's emotional depth. His acoustic playing creates a hypnotic groove over which Jagger's vocals drift, giving the track its meditative, almost trance-like atmosphere. It's a testament to Taylor's musical maturity that he knew when to keep things simple, letting space and tone carry the emotional weight.
It's a lead guitar virtuoso piece rather than a two guitars weaving, which has always been the Stones motif.
Moonlight Mile offers a rare glimpse into what the Rolling Stones might have sounded like if Taylor had been given more collaborative space within the band. His musical sensibilities meshed beautifully with Jagger's lyrical introspection, resulting in a song that feels more personal and artistically ambitious than much of the Stones' typical output at the time.
Moonlight Mile, what a killer. Absolutely great song. Now there's a song about desolation, drugs, waking up on Sunday morning and all of that stuff, you know. That's a great song about it. Absolutely great song.
Well, for me, at any rate, you know, encapsulates the sort of, you know, that feeling of sort of cocaine come down, you know, of just sort of almost wasted elegance, if you like, that sort of wasted beauty, you know. One would rather kind of hear it in the form of that song than experience it and go through it.
I've never come down from that kind of high in my life, but I say that their demonic songs don't teach me anything about that part of life, and their sadomasochistic songs don't teach me anything about that part of life. Moonlight Mile, that's a song that was a learning experience for me.
Moonlight Mile is one of the most atypical songs in the Rolling Stones catalog, and Mick Taylor's contribution is a major reason why. It showcases his ability to enhance a song not with flash or firepower, but with atmosphere, emotion, and taste.
The song is straightforward enough, and then you've got this great long sort of Santana-like lead guitar piece tacked on the end, which to me isn't really Stones at all. I don't think Keith's playing on it.
Taylor himself has spoken about Moonlight Mile as one of his favorite tracks from his time with the band, though he also noted his disappointment in not being recognized for his compositional input.
A lot of that has had to do with Mick and Keith not really working together as songwriters. I mean, the song still said Jagger Richards, but they weren't really written like that. I mean, some of the songs I helped write, a few anyway.
You can hear him in a lot of other tracks that he wasn't given credit for.
It's hard to say whether Mick Taylor, you know, was demanding more accreditation than he'd hitherto received. You know, he did get credit on Ventilator Blues, but nothing else.
He's pretty disillusioned and is already thinking about getting out. There are clearly difficulties between him and Keith at this stage, with you know, infamous stories of Keith wiping some of his contributions and replacing them with his own.
End of the period I was with them, I think I got a little, for whatever reason, disillusioned with it a little bit and a little bit bored.
Mick wanted more credit and didn't get it, and you know, it's sad that people think he made this terrible mistake leaving the band.
I just thought, well, I don't want to do this anymore.
On some level, he probably saved his own life, and he had to go. He could not stay there.
It really wasn't a big deal to me, leaving the Stones.
For fans and critics alike, the track stands as a quiet high point in Taylor's tenure with the Stones.
So his contributions, I think, were immense in that way, and we almost didn't realise until he'd gone, you know, what he weaved into the fabric of the Stones.
Mick Taylor had an enormous impact on the flavour of the Stones' music for the time that he was in it.
An example of how his musical depth could elevate the band's songwriting to new artistic heights.
Within a few weeks, Jagger was saying, actually, Keith Richards is the sound of the Stones. Mick Taylor wasn't really a Stone at all. But, and in a way, at the time, we undervalued him, I think. But listening back, he contributed so much, and he saw the Stones through that period with his very elegant, virtuoso playing, which I think was crucial at that time when everyone was looking towards, you know, progressive rock and rock being almost on a classical stage.
Though often overshadowed by louder, more iconic moments, Moonlight Mile remains a shining example of Mick Taylor's unique and vital role in the band's golden era.
That's the period they created their greatest music, their most enduring music. The greatest Rolling Stones lineup was the one between 1969 and 74 with Mick Taylor.